Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's Eric Coffin. I'm here at my Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver. It is Sunday, January 28th, 2023. I'm here with Mike Konnert. He's the CEO of Vizsla Silver. Vizsla is certainly one of the more successful companies that I've been following lately. It's a fantastic story. They're growing this very, very large, very high-grade silver gold resource in Mexico. Vizsla trades VZLA on the venture, also trades VZLA in New York on the Amex. You guys have just sort of gone from strength to strength. I mean, obviously the market's the market, so you're not getting rewarded to the extent you should be. I don't think, and I'm sure you don't think.
Absolutely.
But maybe there's a couple things we should cover right off the top because they sort of just happened, or I guess we're in the process of happening. So just to make sure that they're, part of the video, part of the story. You announced and then quickly enlarged a placement just 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
What's that do to your finances? Where do you think that ends up in terms of scale, and what does that do to your finances, your cash position once it's done?
Yeah, well, we're very fortunate that Vizsla has been and continues to be now supported by some very strong shareholders, and this was a really an excellent financing. We had a lot of hard work from various groups in that, and our shareholders have come in to support us here in a deal that's outside of the norms of right now. So we're seeing a reasonable discount, common share, no warrant, and 4-month hold. So this brings our cash now up to closer to $60 million. And $60 million is more than enough runway to see us achieve our near-term and medium-term goals of continuing to drill and then likely putting out initial economics on the western center of mass that we see there, which is Copala and Napoleon. So it's thrilling. I'm very excited about this resource, and this financing sets us up now for unlocking huge amounts of value. And really, the shares are only going to be available now through buying on the market. So I think the share price will appreciate as well.
Yeah, it came and went very fast. I think it was about 8 hours from announcing to upsizing to no, sorry, the book's full.
Yeah.
So it didn't take long. And, all of this is in aid of and to help enlarge an already impressive resource. That resource only came out last week. So this week, I guess, started this week. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of walk us through what does that updated resource look like?
It's effectively doubling, the indicated and inferred ounces that we had on our maiden, and this comes 10 short months after the maiden resource. So it's thrilling to see not only the size, at over 100 million ounces of silver equivalent in the indicated, over 100 million in inferred. So actually, in a global resource, it's 220 million ounces of silver equivalent. 93% of that resource is in precious metals, so we have a very small credit to base metals. Pretty much half of that's in the indicated, and what we're seeing is Copala, our new Copala discovery, which is a total game changer. And I would say it's unlike anything I've really seen in recent years in Mexico. This is a very high grade, very thick, 10 meters thick, on average over half a kilo in grade, and continues to grow. And that's really what's driving this substantial growth in the resource. And, I'm just thrilled to think, well, certainly there's more Copalas, and I believe I should say certainly that there's more Copalas in the district. And but even if that weren't the case, the growth potential of Copala along strike and at depth is huge still. So, we're continuing to grow. The resource is already stale by about 3 or 4 months.
Right.
So I would think that, we're suggesting that in the near term here, sometime in the second half of this year, we can expect a resource update that may or may not be coupled with economics.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it's important for people to understand that not all ounces are created equal, and what Vizsla's got at Panuco is very high grades. Just if you look at global averages for silver mines, Panuco is well above those, but also Copala in particular. You start wrapping economics around something with those kind of grades and 10-meter thicknesses, you're going to get some pretty impressive cash costs, I think.
I think so too.
The numbers are going to look very, very good. And of course, you guys are not resting on your laurels. You got how many rigs are going right now?
7 rigs right now at the project, and we we're more efficient with our meters now because we're primarily focused on Copala. We have some other discoveries that we're following up on, but our cost per ounce has actually has gone down significantly from the last resource update. So we're getting more efficient with the drill bit.
Yeah, and I believe it was, I think from first to second resource, it was 15 cents an ounce, give or take, US.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is crazy low.
Yeah.
Now, do you think you're going to stay at that rig count, or now that you're sitting on a much larger bank account? I mean, I realize some of this is efficiencies, and there's only so many bodies, there's only so many hours in a day. But I mean, you were running, I don't know, 10 or 11 or 12 rigs.
12. Yeah.
Are you going to push the rig count back up again, or is you got enough on your plate?
I think there's certainly the potential for that. We'll close the financing, and we'll go back and look at what we want to do and how extra cash can potentially add to that or make that a faster reality. But at the moment here, we don't have an immediate plans to add more rigs, but there's about, I would say, 100 different targets that we could go test if we were to,
Right.
And finding new ones, all the time. So no shortage of targets. 7 rigs right now feels like for the team, I think an appropriate amount, but there's certainly the potential to add rigs here.
Okay, and I guess there's probably still more drill holes that's coming anytime. I mean, you guys never stopped when you're doing the resource. Everything kept going.
Yeah, exactly. And I expect there to be steady news flow. Obviously, there's been a bit of a delay here with the resource and the financing in terms of putting our drill news out. Right. So I would expect that there's going to be ample news events as we continue after this financing closes. So it's going to be busy.
I can't think of anything else obvious other than, I mean, do you want to give any kind of a sort of a global, bigger picture statement, like, where does, just in sort of the big high level sense, where does Vizsla go from here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think where Vizsla goes from here, even if we didn't spin any more rigs, even if we didn't drill one more hole, this is already one of the world's largest undeveloped high-grade silver mines in a fantastic location in northern Mexico, off of a highway, high tension power. As it is today, I believe this is a candidate to develop and move into production. It's always been our vision to build a silver producer out of Vizsla. But I think there's parallel paths here, as we continue to de-risk the project and go through the economics and, move to underground test mining and things like this and totally, move the project forward. We'll still be discovering more ounces. We'll still be drilling. And I think that's what's so exciting. And that's what's so different about Vizsla is we're, on the existing resource, we're massively undervalued when you look at an EV per ounce basis, certainly after this update. But that's going to continue to grow. I believe the share price is going to reflect that in time. But we're moving this very rapidly towards production. I think that's where investors will see the most amount of value. Yeah,
no, I mean, I agree. I mean, when you put the resource out earlier this week, I bought a bunch more stock. I mean, it's pretty cheap on an dollar per ounce basis compared to a lot of its peer group. And and I stress again, it's got both scale and grade. And normally when you have that combination, you expect to be at the upper rather than the lower end of the valuation per ounce. And I think some of this was just, I think the downside, if you will, of you guys running 10, 11 rigs is, you're burning a couple million a month, and it's just, investment bankers are investment bankers. It's just like always wins your next raise. Yeah. Now that you've done this huge raise and you're sitting on 60 million, that takes that completely off the table. There's no warrants or anything. So yeah, I'm expecting, I know we're going to see good things news-wise and in terms of the company progressing, but I also think we're going to see good news in terms of the share price. That's why I bought more, but I'm not that much of a masochist. I do expect the price to go up. That's the plan. So on that happy news, Michael, thank you for coming by and make it happen, will you? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I've got my marching orders.
Oh yeah,
thanks, Eric, and I appreciate being here.